everyone. We have some major breaking news. President Donald Trump reportedly has ordered the United States military to bomb multiple sites across Venezuela, crippling the Maduro regime. The bombs are expected to fall. Some, according to the report, maybe within hours, maybe within days, but the order reportedly has been issued. This is huge. This is what we've been building up to. This is what I've said is coming down the pipeline. A lot of people doubted that we might ever get to this point. I have been consistent. We don't move this much naval power into a region unless we plan on using it. And now the United States of America is ready to rock and roll against the regime of dictator Nicolas Maduro, and bombs could be falling at any time. We're going to get into exactly what is happening. The targets that have reportedly been picked by President Donald Trump to be annihilated first. There is a lot to break down here, and keep in mind the Russians are now vowing or threatening that they're going to get involved. Is that BS? Is it not? Plus, we have more footage, training footage. Everything is coming together, and we are going to see exactly how this is all going to unfold. Before we get into it, as always, please make sure to like and subscribe. Totally free. Cost you guys absolutely nothing at all. Huge, huge, huge boost to the channel. Comment with your thoughts below. What do you think about President Donald Trump's decision to drop bombs on Venezuela? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that notifications bell. All notifications turned on. You won't miss a thing. And then right here, Instagram, David_Hookstead, X, D Hookstead. That's where you can find me on social media. My DMs are wide open. Please reach out with any tips you have. Now, let's get into it. We have been watching with great interest of how this situation with Venezuela is going to unfold amid a massive military buildup by the United States of America. And I have consistently been saying it is clear to anyone watching the signs, anyone paying attention, that there is only one outcome here. We were always going to strike Venezuela. You don't bring this much naval firepower, air power, special operations, staged on the ghost ship MV Ocean Trader in the region unless you plan on using it. People wanted to talk a lot about the drug boats, but at the end of the day, it was clear to anyone paying attention, this was way bigger than just drug boats. This was about getting Nicolas Maduro. This was about cutting off Maduro from giving the Russians, the Chinese, access to Venezuela as a staging point against America in our hemisphere, cutting them off from access to Venezuelan resources, as well as removing Maduro because he has pushed TDA, Tren de Aragua, Cartel of the Suns, their drugs, their criminals north into America. And now President Donald Trump has made the call. Let me throw this up on the screen.
First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Quadash, and double honors to those great millstone, while unto truth, and also to those elect that scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is a time of war. So I like to say Shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So we seen in the opening clip by David Hookstead, that DJ Donald Trump has gave them the green light to go into Venezuela. Also, we know that, that things are constantly escalating down there in the Caribbean. We seen that they have a massive military buildup. We already knowing that war is imminent. So right now we seeing it right here in our own backyard. A lot of people what's called in the house of mirth, or have the spirit of mirth. They're going around talking about this wicked pagan holiday, which in fact is Halloween. So a lot of people right now are partying and drinking and dressing up in all these different abominable outfits or costume that they're putting on, and which in fact, we know this is representing death. And we already know that great death is coming, great destruction is coming, the beginning of sorrows, great mourning. So a lot of people right now, have, a lack of knowledge, right now. Oh, it's high time to wake out of sleep. And a lot of our people right now are not considering the signs of the time. They're right here before our eyes, So we're seeing right now, this is right here in our own backyard. Things could escalate. We already heard about Russia saying they're going to come. It's rumors that Russia is going to come to Venezuela aid. But this, here or there has not been confirmed, but we already know that they're sending them aid and also military equipment and all sorts of weaponry. And also he's saying that China is doing the same thing. So we're seeing right now, if China, Russia, or North Korea get involved, we already know those are the major players, just like the Bible said. But we know it at some point they shall burn the whore. So I got this little news report here by Miami Herald. We just read the title. I have a video to bring it out with more edification. It says here, U.S. paused to strike military targets in Venezuela in escalation against Maduro regime or his government. So we already know right now what this is all about. Oil, territory, you know what I'm saying? And also these their minerals, they gold, you know what I'm saying, the drugs, the oil, that's exactly what this man loved to do, go in people, overthrow people's government, also set up their own puppet government, put their own puppet leader in charge. So this is the old playbook, but right now we know that these things can spiral out of control. So we already know right now, DJ Donald Trump has ordered that they'll start back up doing nuclear testing, so they'll start that back up after 33 years. So we're seeing right now that we're here. It's at the door. That's what we constantly warning you about, left and right. In that day they should know that a prophet was among them. It says here, U.S. paused to strike military targets in Venezuela in escalation against Maduro regime or his government. So this report came out October the 31st, 2025 at 5:55 p.m. And a lot of our people right now are relaxing in their lead, eating and drinking, you know what I'm saying, laughing and having a great old time. As of the days of Noah, as of the days of right now, there's no new thing under the sun. And I had about warning before destruction. So right now, it's saying that 72 hours, saying within hours, saying within days. So we're going to measure the time diligently. So we already know that at some point that these things are going to spiral out of control. And also, it's already rumors that Russia warships over there in the Arctic Circle in collaboration with China, and also down here in the Caribbean, China is there and Russia also is there. So these things are picking up left and right. So, we could have an invasion of America very soon. So we already know they putting that digital infrastructure into play. We know it about November the 1st. So we're gonna wait and see what happens tomorrow. So it's a lot of things that is going on. That's why you got to be locked in, always focus on these prophecy. You can't miss 1 second. If you get caught slipping, the devil, he's getting ready to come down with great wrath. That's what we constantly warning you about. Also, we know that the Lord is getting ready to return. The Lord is visiting the earth that he created. So we already know what happened in Jamaica, that over there at that island, all that devastation with this hurricane. A lot of people, were saying that it's, was a heart manipulating weather machine, but we knowing that it was all through the spirit and power. Yahweh Bashim Shai. The Lord is in perfect control. We knowing that we're here. So we in these times and seasons right now. So let's get this other one right here. It's another one I got right here about a news break. Let's get this one right quick. And then we're going to get a few precepts. Then we'll start up today's video. This one says here, we're actually going to read the title once again. And it says here, Trump shocks advisors with surprise order to resume U.S. nuclear testing after 33 years pause. So right here, after 3 decades, all of a sudden now he's trying to get ready to start back testing because he's seeing that these nations are coming in alliance against him, and also you already knowing that he's trying to stop Maduro for letting Russia and China setting up their bases there. Like I think it was rumors that China was going to set up a base in Canada. So we already know that America have military bases throughout the world, and they don't want one in their own backyard because they know that they are the hammer of the whole earth. But these nations saying that they are strong now. They have nuclear capabilities now. So we already know right now they seeing that America is crumbling like a cookie. They see crumbling like a cookie. They seeing that America is on the decline. America is circling the drain, and America is getting ready to be totally destroyed by these other nation. That's why they constantly come in alliance against America. And also we constantly watching what the Middle East is constantly picking up left and right. We already signed a peace treaty, I think about a week or two ago, between Hamas and Israel. And they're saying that now that it's still a bombing over there in the Gaza Strip. And also there's rumors that Israel is getting ready to go to war with Iran. So we know that things are picking up also with between Pakistan and I think it's if it's Afghanistan, if I'm not mistaken, Pakistan and I can't think of the other country, but anyway, they had a conflict once before, so the war drums are beating all across the world. The heathens are raging, and the men, Lord, we constantly warning you left and right. You got to be, get your house, to get your mind right, because these things are coming upon us at a fast pace. A lot of people get caught up in that evil net. So now, let's get a few precepts, then we'll start today's video. Let's go here. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1, it said, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Let's read it in NLT. It said, for everything there is a season, a time for every activity under the sun. So we're in that time of season of war. The second war has passed, but the third will come quickly. That third war is World War III, the last and final war, the war to end all wars, right before what? The great and glorious return of Yahweh by Shemawashai. And also what? Our salvation is very close at hand. Come out of here, my people. This is not your rest. So, reason why I said that, because you look at our people, putting on these wicked ass outfits, going around trick or treating. You getting ready to get a trick and a treat very soon when they start dropping these bombs. Also, these UN troops coming here, these sleeper cells, these lot of things is happening. That's what we constantly warning you about. It's time to wake up. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of our people, they have eyes to see, but they see not. They have ears to hear, but they hear not. And because what? They are that same rebellious house that did not want to return to Yahweh by Shemawashai. Let's get this one here, Ecclesiastes. I quoted, I might well get Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 12. Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 12. A lot of people gonna get caught up in this evil net. It says here, for a man also knoweth not his time as the fishes that are taken in a evil net, saying, and as the birds that are caught in the snare or a trap, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time when it falleth suddenly upon them. So that's exactly what's getting ready to happen. It's getting ready to suddenly fall upon you. So a lot of people right now, are going on with their daily lives, happy-go-lucky, thinking that they're a good case, thinking that everything is going back to normal, everything is going to be all right. We are the number one superpower. Can't no one touch America. You in for a rude awakening. That's reading NLT. It says here, people can never predict when hard times might come, like fish in a net or birds in a trap. People are caught by sudden tragedy. So that's exactly what's getting ready to happen. While you got them drinking and talk about trick or treating, you get ready to trick and trick your ass very soon. So we seeing right now, he's coming upon us. So lucky for that. We see, you know what I'm saying? You already know when a bird get caught in the net, what can he do? Not a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? So we're here. What can a fish do when he get caught in the net? Not a damn thing. What are you going to do when you get caught in the net? You can't do a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? So one thing about it, the Lord is not on your side. You're going to be totally destroyed. So that's what we constantly warn you left and right. The war drums are beating. Everything is set. The stage is set. We already know Jacob trouble is close ahead. We know about the MOTB. They're telling you about these banks are collapsing. The economy is constantly collapsing. A lot of things are happening left and right. So we're going to see what happened November the 1st. It's already been confirmed that in Louisiana that the governor is going to release the stamp benefits to these to the citizens, the one that already been getting it. So they're going to do it. That's the only state I know that they're gonna get theirs tomorrow. So we're gonna see how these things play out. Also, we know that they're constantly mobilizing the National Guards in these cities across America. Also there's rumors that these senators and Congress people in that at the White House, they talking about they getting ready to go to these military bases, rumors of that. So I have a video on that also. So we seeing right now that they're testing getting ready to test their nuclear capability once again. And we know that Russia is testing theirs also. So everyone is preparing for war. We seeing right now that it's right here. So the Lord's moving the chess pieces around. And also we seeing right now that the Lord is gathering the nation for the controversy of Zion. So we're here, you know what I'm saying? Also, we know about what the government shut down. A lot of things are happening at hand. So we seeing that it's here, U.S. poised to strike military targets in Venezuela. So that is here. It is at the door. So now let's go to this one here. Let's get one more. Let's go here to Proverbs chapter 21. Proverbs chapter 21, because the Lord's controlling all these things, and these leaders, what I'm saying? Everyone is doing the will of Yahweh by Shema Shai. It says here, Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 1 said, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. So as the rivers of water, he turns it wheresoever he will. So that's exactly what the Lord is doing. The Lord is directing, putting the spirit on these leaders to do his will each and every day. So we're seeing that these nations are rising against nations. We're seeing rumors of wars all over the place, earthquakes in diverse places. We're seeing, these storms and tempests everywhere where you look. So the Lord is visiting the earth that he created. So the Lord is in perfect control. So let's read this in the NLT. It said, the king's heart is like a stream of water, said, directed by the Lord. He guides it wheresoever he pleases. So right there, they tell you, the Lord is in perfect control. And no one is going to escape the hands of Yahweh by Shema Shai. We know that judgment is now at hand. So now let's start today's video. And after the video, we'll start the lesson. And I hope that you will get edified.
It is being reported that all U.S. warships are in position to hit Venezuela and that attacks can start happening within hours. Apparently, they already mapped out energy targets, military facilities, and ports that they're planning to hit. A U.S. warship is deporting Trinidad and Tobago after the exercises ended as they're getting in position. Remember, they were there to train for strikes on Venezuela. Russia appears to warn the United States over pressure against Venezuela by saying, "We stand ready to respond appropriately. We support the leadership of Venezuela in defending its national sovereignty." This coming days after a Russian cargo plane landed in Venezuela, which people presume is either air defense systems, weapons, or the Wagner, or all the above. Russia is also not ruling out deploying nuclear weapons to Cuba and Venezuela if the United States do not back off. Yes, a member of the Russian State Duma Defense Committee said that Russia could deliver nuclear-capable missiles to Venezuela or Cuba, emphasizing their main proximity to what it called Russia's main geopolitical adversary. Russia is also declaring that the United States is not a friend or partner, but an enemy. In other news, we also got Cuba increasing their help for Russia as they're sending more forces over to Ukraine to the point that Ukraine had to close a Cuban embassy yesterday. China and the United Nations is urging that the United States lift their blockade on Cuba. The United States Secretary of War is now discussing the South China Sea issues with the Chinese Defense Minister and laying out why we're building up for a war with China in the South China Sea and what areas we're kind of building up at. Now, I'm pretty sure they're not going into detail, but I'm pretty sure he's saying that the United States is boosting over there to back China off. Then, of course, we got Pakistan and the Taliban that's getting ready to go at war. And then India already saying that they're going to protect Afghanistan's sovereignty against Pakistan. So it looks like I predicted earlier this year, they're going to end up fighting again. Anyways, like more news like this, we got more news coming next. Let's go.
Buckle up. It's about to hit the fan. Trump officials like Marco Rubio, or the head of the Department of Homeland Security, have decided that for their own safety, it's best that they move on to military bases. Not so that they can have a fast-track, unimpeded pathway towards a nuclear bunker when they inevitably do the table flip that we all know is coming. No, they say it's for some low-intensity civil unrest out of fear for their own security. Could it have something to do with the suspension of SNAP benefits to millions of Americans this weekend, which of course will give them nothing better to do with their time than get out into the streets and protest and commit crimes and burn cities down and rob, loot, and steal? Possibly, maybe just a coincidence. But who's to say? Either way, the Trump administration proactively is planning to impose a nationwide state of emergency should that arise. They've already prepared quick readiness task force in every state, and they're getting ready to roll that out in the next 60 days. These are going to be detachments of the National Guard. You have to ask yourself, why are they in such a rush? Could this have anything to do with the fact that yesterday Donald Trump announced that they're going to recommence nuclear testing after 33 years. Is there any numerologists out there? After 33 years, they're going to do nuclear testing. And J.D. Vance removed all doubt today when he unambiguously stated, when being asked by a reporter, that yes, indeed, they will be doing nuclear detonations.
So, America, we're going to war with Venezuela in the next 72 hours, and China is slowly getting more involved in this war. Now, I'm here to tell you right now, China will not put troops on the ground, nor will they get involved directly. But they're going to do it indirectly by doing a proxy war against the United States by sending weapons to Venezuela. They are in talks right now, about weapons being sent to Venezuela. And some of those weapons, oh my God, they're going to blow the United States up. I'm just telling you right now. They about to blow us up. Not only is China just doing that, they're using it as a testing ground to see what weapons is being used successfully against the United States. So while we over here worried about Venezuela, ain't nobody talking about what China is doing. I'm just telling you, as a U.S. vet, this is a smart move by China, and I'm here to tell you right now, China is going to be coming for our head by 2028. I promise you that. By 2028, Chinese warships and everything is going to be on our front door. And as far as Alaska goes, I guess that's about to be Russian territory because, Trump has started some shit he just cannot finish this time.
So some pretty breaking news coming out of the Caribbean Sea right now. Apparently, the Miami Herald published a major article on the 31st of October 2025 claiming that the Trump administration has finalized plans to launch airstrikes on military installations inside of Venezuela with potential attacks occurring at any moment. According to anonymous sources with direct knowledge of the planning, these precision strikes would target facilities that are allegedly being used by the Cartel of the Suns, known as Cartel de los Sols, which is a drug trafficking network that the U.S. has classified as a designated terrorist organization, and the U.S. is accusing them and President Nicolas Maduro and top regime officials of leading this. Now, this particular organization is alleged to have been exporting somewhere around 500 tons of Colombian Bam Bam to the U.S. and Europe annually. Now, this is going to be a pretty significant escalation if this is true, based on what the Miami Herald and numerous other sources have said. Apparently, the operation involves a massive U.S. naval deployment in the southern Caribbean, featuring the U.S. aircraft carrier USS Gerald R. Ford, destroyers, a submarine, F-35 Bravo jets, MQ-9 Reaper drones, and roughly 4,500 troops. Now, so far, U.S. forces have just conducted drone and missile strikes on fast boats in the international waters off of Venezuela's coast, but there's been no direct attacks on Venezuelan military installations yet. The sources apparently told the Herald that the upcoming final phase could involve Tomahawk missiles, special operations raids, and efforts to, quote, decapitate the cartel's leadership, potentially including high-profile figures like Vice President Delcy Rodriguez, National Assembly President Jorge Rodriguez, and Interior Minister Diosdado Cabello. One of the sources apparently also warned that Maduro could soon be, quote, trapped with internal military dissent possibly leading to his capture or handover by disloyal generals. This is going to be pretty massive if it turns out to be true. And if it is, I will certainly keep you guys updated.
Breaking news, America just closed a large chunk of airspace off of Puerto Rico's coast, and GPS disruption has been detected across the whole country of Venezuela, even off its coast. Something very unusual is happening. So as the Miami Herald reported, Trump has authorized strikes on Venezuela, starting with the military installations. And I told you, Nicolas Maduro ran to Russia, China, and Iran for radar systems, missiles, and drones. That's the only reason you'd ask for that is retaliatory measures. So if any of those three were to participate and give Venezuela anything, you're talking about an escalation of which nobody wants to see. I know this is just Venezuela, but it's the major players that's behind Venezuela. And if any of those three were to get involved, this could go to a level that we don't want to see. Pray and seek the Lord. Because as this starts to unfold, we'll see where it goes. It could go nowhere. But no matter what, right now, we know the airspace off of Puerto Rico's coast is closed. They have now shut off all the GPS, and this is about to get crazy, it sounds like. But as these things start to unravel, I'm going to bring it to you. Follow me, because every time an update drops, I'm going to give it to you. Stay tuned.
So now we'll start today's lesson. We'll go to Habakkuk chapter 2. We'll start up in Habakkuk chapter 2. We'll start up around verse 5. So we're seeing The guy said in the last video, time to seek the Lord, and also in that other video, the guy, I mean, before that one, said that, the Trump that got himself into something he can't get out of. One thing about it, that the Lord has set the stage for, it's a total destruction of America, Babylon the Great. This place is getting ready to be totally destroyed with IBCM missiles, and all these countries are lining up. We slowly seeing that the tables are turning. We seeing that right now that America right now is in this last day, so we seeing the end of America right before our eyes. So I start here, Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5. And also, once again, it's time to seek the Lord. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5 say, yea, also because he transgresses by wine, his philosophy, he is a proud man, said neither keeper at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as deaf, and cannot be satisfied, but gathered unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all peoples. And that about it, is he want that total control, the NWO. So that's exactly what we constantly seeing. This man is constantly going in other people's country, constantly robbing, stealing, and unaliving left and right, setting up his own government, by unaliving their leader and putting in their own puppet leader, to bring forth their wine, their philosophy, their policy, their democracy, So one thing about it, and a lot of people, they're sick and tired of America and all their different philosophy, constantly they want to push on other people, and also that that wicked vibration. This place is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. Because of all the wickedness. People can come in and do all sorts of things, but the Lord is sick and tired of that. The Lord is setting the stage for this man to go down. And also said he's a proud man. Who's that proud man? The most proud, Esau, Edom. The modern day so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. That right now this man is never satisfied. He's constantly robbing, stealing, and killing. But one thing about it, we already knowing that his day is coming. We already knowing that the Lord is setting the stage for this man to go down. He's seeing that his days are determined. So let's go here to verse 6. Said, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not, and which is not his, so how long, and to him that is laden himself with thick clay. That thick clay goes into debt? Goes into tremendous debt. So America is in tremendous debt. I think it's around 41 trillion, might be more than that now. So we already know they're not going to pay it back. They're going to go to war. You know what I'm saying? We seen that right before our eyes, and now that body, the prophet is giving that parable, that taunted proverb, that woe to him that increase. We chanting this man down. We constantly want this nightmare to be over. So we seeing right now that this man has got himself in a situation that he cannot get out of. He have dealt very treacherously with these nations. They get ready to deal very treacherously with him when you go to Isaiah chapter 33. So we seeing right now that this man is in debt over his head. And also we already know he constantly putting tariffs on these different nations. Then he trying to come with deals left and right. But we already know that it's not going to work. We already know that these nations are slowly turning on the West and Israel. We're seeing it happening right before our eyes. And also we know that this man is not going to pay back a damn thing. Old China, everything. So pretty much China owns America as we speak right now. So we already know that America is finished. It's what's circling the drain. Verse 7 said, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. One thing about it, we already knowing that, they're going to be a spoil to them very soon. America will be totally destroyed. What was done to these other nations getting ready to be done to America. Verse 8 said, because thou hast spoiled many nations, so all the nations, so all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. So because of men's blood, and for violence of the land, said of the city, and of all that dwell therein. So let's read that once again. Verse 8 said, because thou hast spoiled many nations, so all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. So because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. So since thou hast not hated blood, blood shall pursue thee. So right now, this man is payday. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, we already knowing that we seeing that these nations are constantly get involved. We seeing that Venezuela, president, he was calling out for help from Russia and China and also North Korea. So we know that at any given time, this could escalate into something else. We already know what the prophecies say. These things are coming together, left and right. We're seeing now that this is happening right here in our own backyard. So it's more prevalent than ever that you are seeking the Lord. We're living in some very serious time, a time of trouble that we've never seen before. It's very close at hand. So let's get through in here in Obadiah, and we get one more and we close out. Let's go here to Obadiah chapter 1, and I think it's verse 7 that I want. Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 7. And it reads out, said, all the men in thy confederacy have brought thee even to the borders. Said, the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. Said, and prevailed against thee. Said, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. Said, there is none understanding in him. So we see it right now that these nations are coming together. They get ready to turn. On America. It's all, we seeing it happening right before our eyes that we're at peace with them. That they're deceiving them left and right. We coming with these deals. We coming into some type of agreement. But when they say peace and security, or peace and safety and total destruction will come upon them. So these nations are slowly coming in alliance against America, Babylon the Great, just like the Bible says, in Revelation chapter 18, Revelation chapter 17. These things are happening right before our eyes. We seeing it, man. We are very excited. Verse 7 in the NLT says, all your allies will turn against you. They will help to chase you from your land. Say they will promise you peace. So, but while plotting to deceive and destroy you. That's exactly what's getting ready to happen. Said, your trusted friends will set traps for you and you won't even know about it. So right now, America, they don't even see right now what's happening. They're setting the stage for the destruction of America and also Israel. The least of the flock shall draw them out. So that's where we at right now, man. These things, we here, man, so we know that famine of the word is going to be fast approaching very soon too. So you got to get it while it's hot. Let's go here. Job chapter 20, because when the door of repentance closed, there ain't gonna be no more talking. So let's go here, Job chapter 20, and let's start up at verse 20. I think it's 22. Let's start here, and we'll read all the way down. It says here, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. So every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. So exactly what's getting ready to happen. This man is in the fullness, of his kingdom, of his rulership right now. He planning right now. He's about to try to bring forth this new system, this new order. But he's in for a rude awakening. He shall be in straits. Levels of adversity. So that's what's getting ready to come upon him. Anguish, all sorts of death and destruction. That's what he's getting ready to meet very soon. Get ready to meet that missile very soon. Missile food. Verse 23 said, when he is about to fill his belly, said the Almighty shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So right now we see that this man is, trying to fill his belly, his agenda, his plan, his plot. While he's setting it up right now, he's thinking everything's going smooth. But while he's doing it, the Lord said, shall rain it upon him while he is eating. What the Lord is going to rain upon him, those IBCM missiles, and also that laser and chariot fire that's going to come from Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. That's why the Lord said, look to the brightness of my coming. The Lord's getting ready to take this man out of rulership. We cannot wait. Verse 24 says, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. So exactly what's getting ready to happen. Getting ready to get a belly full. Verse 25, it said it is drawn and cometh out of the body. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. So this is describing the IBCM missile coming out of those silos, so they're going to be shot to the ends of the earth, and they shall not miss their mark. So this is exactly what they're describing. So we right upon that time. We already seeing that DJ Donald Trump, has already ordered after 33 years, for them to start back doing nuclear testing and detonation. So hey man, we're here, man. It's that so the Lord's getting ready to shut this truth down, man. Very soon, the famine of the word is fast approaching, because everything, these prophecies right now, they're speaking and not lying. Verse 26 says, all darkness shall be hid in his secret place. So a fire not blown shall consume him. So it shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. It's going to go very ill with him. Verse 27 said, the heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. So that's exactly what we're seeing. So we're seeing right now the man of what perdition has been revealed, and the earth shall rise up against him. So that's exactly what we're seeing. These nations, and everybody knowing who is causing these problems upon this earth, left and right, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. Verse 28 said the increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. So this man right now is getting ready to go from riches to rags. Very soon we get ready to go from rags to rich. Though the one that is first shall be last, and the one that is last shall be first. That's what's happening right now. We seeing that transition of power is taking place right before our eye. Esau is the end of this earth age, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow. The kingdom of heaven is fast approaching. Verse 29, it said, this is the portion of a wicked man from the Almighty, and the heritage appointed unto him by the Almighty, Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua. So right now, we're in a time and season of what? A war, a time of trouble that we've never seen before. Jacob's trouble, the MOTB, World War III. These things are fast approaching. Also, we knowing about that MOTB. You know what I'm saying? These things are here. It is at the door. We know it right now. We're going to constantly measure the time diligently. We're going to be circumspect. We're going to redeem the time wise, because right now it is here. It is at the door. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is a time of war. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom. Shalom.